Welcome. Hello, I'm Kory. Anybody who has any questions, just put it into the chat in the bottom right-hand corner, and I will go ahead and answer them. I've been doing Google Ads for 14 years for my real estate business, and our average lead cost is $1.06 over 80,000 leads, which is the best I've heard yet. So I definitely know how to make these leads come through at a pretty affordable price. So any questions, put them in the bottom right-hand corner, and I'll go ahead and answer them one by one. Little side note while I wait for some questions. I've been I created a school community. Some of you may have not have heard of it before, but SKOOL School. Alex Hermosi is a major investor in the company. It's basically like an online education platform where I'm teaching people how to use Google Ads. And I've started Google Ads campaign to direct people from all over the world that are searching for information on Google Ads towards it. And I've got those leads coming in. There's about 150 in the last number of days, coming in at under $1 per lead so far. So it's pretty amazing opportunity to get leads into your business, whether it's somebody teaching Google Ads or somebody selling insurance or real estate or whatever it happens to be. But yeah, it's pretty cool stuff. So definitely put your questions here. I'm here to answer questions and yeah, like to help with any things. Anybody has any questions about Google Ads wise, go ahead. Here we go. Thoughts on local service ads and pay-per-click for home service companies? Good question. Local service ads, I've been wanting to do for my real estate business forever, but they're not available for my industry in Canada yet, which is where we are. So if I could do them, I would definitely do them. I think local service ads, because you show up as like a guaranteed or qualified a Google guaranteed person, I think the conversion rate and the trust is a lot higher. So if I could do them for my industry, I definitely would. So I definitely recommend trying those out if you have a service that is applicable. If you're in the States or somewhere else in the world that allows you to do it, I would definitely do that. Pay-per-click for home service companies. Pay-per-click's fantastic. I've been doing it since August of 2010 is when I started my Google Ads campaign, my first one. I had a real estate company at the time. I still do. It's grown into a team, and I just needed like a consistent pipeline of leads and a consistent pipeline of people to convert into clients. And back then, I thought the same thing that I think now. Like, where would you go if you're looking for XYZ widgets or real estate or whatever it is? And I thought Google, like that's where I go. And this is 14 years ago. So I think a lot of people go there and even more now. I think the latest numbers are between 80 and 92% market share for search engine. So when somebody searches on a search engine on the internet, and like let's say 90% of the time it's on Google, it's a pretty gigantic market. So I would do local service ads if it's available in your area for sure. I wish I could do them. I've been looking at the eligibility list in my area. There's a website you can go to and see if you're eligible based on where you are and what kind of service you provide, what industry, for 2 years. It's still not available. And then pay-per-click for sure. I think pay-per-click is pretty advantageous for almost any company. It just depends on how expensive your leads are. So if you sell something for, let's say it's a $500 product, but it costs you $450 to get the lead, there might not be enough meat on the bone as far as like a margin to make money. But if you sell something for $50 or $100 and it costs you $10 to acquire a client, it's like 10 times in your money. I would just push that button as many times as I could. So hopefully that answers your question. Omid, how about Google My Business page ad? Clarify that a little bit more. I know Google My Business, we have one for my real estate company. We have just over 100 reviews so far. What do you mean ad for that? Go ahead and put that into the chat. Would we be able to pay for an ad? So good question. So the way Google My Business works, it's like organic search through Maps and through Google search. So you could make something that looks like a Google My Business page ad, but there'll be some advertising restrictions on how similar it can be to Google My Business. What you want for Google My Business is you want to verify it, have an address where they can send that like postcard to that verifies it, so it'll actually rank better. Get lots of reviews. The more reviews you get, the more organic results you're going to get. And it shows up on Google Maps too, which is super powerful. So you can have your website on there. We get quite a few leads for the real estate business through that because people search Vancouver top real estate teams or Vancouver team or Vancouver realtor. And then we rank on the search in Maps or on Google search. And then they look and they say, oh, you got 101 reviews. Oh, that's really good. And then they click our website link, and our website link has a real estate search on it. And when they try to view listings there, it's a forced capture page, meaning they have to put their information in and create an account. So for sure. I have some people have the paid ad. Be able to pay for an ad. Let's see. What does it say here? I see some people have the paid ad. Yeah, good question. For Google My Business, I've never done a paid ad for them. I know that when I have another, because I have different locations as well, and some of the ones that are not built out, the locations, it's always asking me to create ads. But yeah, I've never done that for a Google My Business page. The vast majority of the success I've had with Google Ads, and I've tried everything for, back from shopping to display ads to search. Search gets the best result in my opinion because there's intent. It's one of the reasons why I don't focus on Facebook ads, even though we do Facebook ads for the company. I focus on Google ads for one specific thing. It's what I call search intent. So if you're on Facebook and you have an interest in real estate as one of your interests, then you can select an audience and you can select people that have an interest in real estate in a geographic area. And then you can show them ads kind of like a billboard, which is okay. But when you're driving down the street and you see a billboard for toupees and you don't need a toupee, you don't care about it. It's kind of nonsense, right? But if you go online and you search, I'm losing my hair, or I want to buy a toupee, or affordable toupees near me, the search intent of that person who's searching right there is huge. That person's probably going to transact on that product at some point, if not right now. So you want to get your ads and your business in front of them as soon as possible, right? We were running a pay-per-click ad, and our first lead was 320 to 350 range with 7 per click. Is that a good range for a deck and fence company? Good question. That's really, really high. I know like lawyers tend to be one of the most expensive campaigns because they obviously are going to make a lot of money when they close a client. That's really, really high. So 7 per click. To give you an idea, my average click ranges anywhere between 12 cents and $2 on average across all the campaigns that I have for my company. But I'm not in decking, so I don't know how competitive it is. I'd say the one key thing to really focus on when you're creating a campaign, remodel reach or -AI. Are you doing your own campaigns or do you have a company professionally managing it? Just put that in the chat real quick. I was doing 50 a day. So I'm assuming based on that you're doing your own campaigns. It really depends on, areas, Houston, yes, we're a marketing company. Okay, perfect. Yeah, it really depends. It really depends on the key thing for me that I find gets the best result and like the foundation of what really like got me to get leads inexpensively and like really scale early 2010 onwards was keyword research. So what I did is I found a couple specific keyword phrases that have high search volume or high enough search volume, like more than thousands per month, if not millions. Ideally would be ideal, but obviously that's not possible in most searches. But let's say 10,000, 2,000, or 10,000, 15,000 per month, and then medium to low competition. And it's hard to find them because the ones that have high search volume tend to have high competition, depending on what they are. But if you find one, like for instance, with Google Ads, where some of you people that are on here came from, I'm bidding on Google Ads for people searching get leads or how to use Google Ads or some variation of that. There's about 5 million of those searches where I'm targeting monthly. So there's a complete abundance of those search terms. People are searching that all the time, but the competition is low because most advertisers believe that if somebody's searching Google Ads, they just want to find Google Ads. And the vast majority of time that's true. But because there's so many people searching them, that's enough for me. So I have very low cost per click. I'm at 12 cents per click right now on this campaign, and I'm getting leads for under $1. But that's probably not possible for what your application is, but you can probably get your cost down quite a bit. 320 to 350 range, it's high. It really depends on what your margin would be on that. What do you charge for your whatever service that you're selling or whatever product that you're selling, deck and fence company? What do you charge for it? Like, is it still profitable at 320 or 350, or is it not viable at all? Anybody else put some questions in there too? I want to make sure to answer every question every person has. Client is charging anywhere from 5 to 30K. See, that's good. You know, in real estate, there's a company, if you're in America, called Zillow. In Canada, they're not big here, but in America, it's gigantic, and they sell leads to real estate agents, and they sell leads for about $300 to $400 per lead, but the average commission's about 10,000. You're not converting everyone, of course. You're not even converting, half, not even close. But I think their conversion ratio is like 1 in 10, 2 in 10. So let's say you do 1 in 10 and it's 300 per lead. That's 3,000 cost per acquisition or cost per client for a $10,000 commission. That's a fairly good return on investment. That's like almost 3 times or 3.5 times, right? So the client is charging anywhere from 5 to 30K. Yeah, I want to get that down. Like 7 per click sounds very expensive, but it could be a very competitive keyword phrase. What I would focus on there is getting the cost per click down by increasing the quality score. So that's another real key thing. Keyword research, finding low competition, high search volume keywords, and then getting your quality score down. Most people, I've seen accounts for so many different people that people have asked me to look at, and their quality scores will be 5 or 6 or 4, and they just sit with it. And the way that the Google Ads auction works is it gives you a discount for relevance, and a quality score is basically saying that you're relevant. So for instance, if you have a ad that says, somebody searches on Google XYZ widgets and the ad says motor oil for sale, that's a really bad message match. The ad relevance isn't there. But if it says XYZ widgets and then the ad says XYZ widgets and then has some text that really speaks to what that person's looking for, then your quality score is going to be higher because the expected click-through rate, so the percentage of people that click the ad that actually see the ad, is going to be high because they match. And a good click-through rate is like 10%, 20%. Really good is 20%. But if you're doing 5 or 10% on average, you're actually crushing it. I think the average is about 2% across all industries in Google Ads. Mine do 10 to 15% depending on the campaign. Some do a little bit less, but they're still profitable, so I keep them. But one thing that's really great about having a high click-through rate is that's going to continue to up your quality score. If you can get a quality score 8, 9, or 10, you're going to have such a discount in the auction, because what Google is doing is they're serving up ads on an auction, and it's done in real time based on what they think people want to see. And if there's one advertiser here who shows ads and it always turns out to be not what the person wants to see, this advertiser over here shows ads and their click-through rates are really high and they seem to get lots of sales, Google's going to favor this person. So they're going to allow this person to show above this person for less money, because the value in Google search is actually giving people what they want. It's not like a pray and spray advertising thing where they just throw everything at the wall and seeing what sticks. I actually never looked into that, but I'm learning about the score now. Yeah, keyword score. It's based on keywords. Make sure that you're paying attention to that. If your keywords aren't 7 or 8, work on them until they're 7 or 8 or higher. And personally, I think any keyword can get to 8. The ones that perform the best for me are at 10. And keyword scores at 10 are challenging. The expected click-through rate is a factor. The ad relevance, like the message match that I told you, is a factor. And the landing page experience. So there's a score related to landing page experience. So they search something, the ad comes up, they click through, and then the landing page is relevant to what they actually clicked on. If it says XYZ widgets on the search and the ad says XYZ widgets, the landing page better say XYZ widgets. So our click-through rate is 5%. It's actually pretty good. 5% is, you can probably improve it. You could probably structure out your, what do you call it? Your ad groups, maybe make them a bit narrower so that they're not so broad if that's what you're doing. You'll probably get a higher click-through rate for that. So broad match, exact match, and phrase match, and groups for your keywords. Let me just pull something up real quick. I'll be right back. Just give me a second. I'll be right back, everybody. Just looking something up to share with you. There we go. Okay. So phrase match, so broad match, exact match, and phrase match. Let me just give you sort of an overview. So broad match are ads that may relate to searches, or ads may show on searches that relate to your keyword. So broad match is the broadest, essentially, right? So it could be related to your keyword, but not specifically searching exactly what your keyword is. Phrase match, ads may show on searches that include the meaning of your keyword as well as your keyword in a phrase. And then it's exact match are ads that may show on searches that are the same meaning as your keyword. So it doesn't have to be the exact keyword, but it will show up on if it has the same meaning as your keyword. So they've changed those definitions over the years a number of times, but that's the gist of those three. Explain broad match and groups. It's blocked here. I can't see. Is that what that says? Ad groups? Ad groups for your keywords. So if we're talking about ad work, it's blocked there. So I can't see what that word is because there's a little heart there. If you're talking about ad groups, when I started in my career in 2010, I started with like one ad group, one campaign, and then like a ton of keywords in that ad group. And what I realized is to get really targeted, you basically have to start segmenting out your ad groups. So personally, what I do is I see the highest search volume keyword phrases that I think are going to match what I'm looking for. And then what I'll do is I'll create a keyword group just for that an ad group just for that specific keyword. So campaign, ad group for that keyword, and then that one keyword. And then I'd create a specific landing page that speaks to people searching for that. So if it's XYZ widgets as an example, that's the keyword, that's the ad group name. And then the landing page speaks just to that. So I know when somebody lands on it, whether it's exact match, phrase match, or a broad match, depending on which one you're going to choose, I know that I'm going to know a variation of what they're kind of going to search. So I can know what the ad should say to match what they're looking for. And then I would know what the landing page should speak to get a high landing page experience, as well as a high click-through rate and therefore quality score and ad relevance. So it's a lot more work doing it that way, but that's why I'm not suggesting to do it with keywords that have low search volume. If there's like 100 or 10 or 200 searches per month, even if you got all of the share, the search impression share, which you wouldn't, it's not worth it. But for like, for instance, the Google Ads ones that I'm doing now force people searching Google Ads. There's an absolute abundance. I'm never going to run out of people searching that. So I'm just choosing where I'm going to put it geographically, and then what I'm going to speak to in the video and the landing page to actually convert them into a client so they sign up for the course or they sign up for the community. I hope that answers your question. Next question. Anybody else have any more questions about anything Google Ads related? Go ahead and shoot. Oh, remodel reached out, or -AI. Tailor one service. I'm doing roofing, no target only commercial or residential. So you would tailor one service, like if I'm doing roofing, I would target only commercial or residential, right? Yeah, I would segment for sure, for sure. I would segment and target as much as possible and then optimize after I've done that for a period of time. But yeah, I always go narrow first. And then if it's too narrow, I'll back off. I find when you go too broad, you might get a lot of search traffic, but you're just getting a lot of junk data, because if there's the way you speak to residential and commercial might be completely different as far as just the way that they convert, right? Like for the ad copy, headline, and landing page. Correct. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Another thing you might want to consider if you've never tried is dynamic keyword insertion. So there's ways you can insert not just in the ad when somebody searches, but in your landing page. You could have like a merge field on your landing page where it will actually merge field in the exact keyword phrase that they searched. It can be hard to make that look not fake and not look stupid. But if you get it to match really well, you can get a really good conversion rate. We split our campaign, like for the ad copy, headline, and landing page. We split our campaign was different. We had one for decking, another for fence. Yeah, I would do that. I think I would definitely split for different services, decking and fence, as much as they're in the same industry to a certain extent. I would definitely split for that. It's kind of like a moving target. You got to have a theory about what you think is going to be the right targeting, as well as what you think you need to do, and then test. There's just no way around testing in this. Is even I don't know exactly how something's going to perform until I actually test it. I'm usually fairly spot on because I've been doing it for so long. But at the same time, I'm surprised. Sometimes the creative, sometimes the ad that performs better, I would bet that it would perform worse. And then you just deal with reality. Like I want the one that confirms, or what's the word I'm looking for? The one that converts better, not the one that I think is going to convert better. And for your automations, how are you doing this? Good question. I use a couple systems for my real estate business. I use a CRM called Lofty, which was used to be called Chime. Been using that for about 5 years. For the other businesses I have, I use what they call Go High Level. It's a really robust CRM and automation platform that does amazing, amazing things. If you'd like some information on that, I can actually put a little link in the live stream here. Just give me a second and I'll find that link. It's a really amazing platform. I think you can get it for, there's usually a 14-day trial, and then I think it's like 50 or $100 a month, something like that. But let me just go find it real quick, because I couldn't do some of the things that I do without it. It's pretty incredible. Go here. That's not the one. There we go. That's not it. There we go. Perfect. Okay. There's Go High Level. There's the, it's an affiliate link, so I will get a little percentage if you sign up through it, but it's a 14-day free trial, so you can go get the account and play around with it if you want. For your automations, how are you doing this? It really depends on what the campaign is. So for my real estate business, I'll give you an idea. This is not through Go High Level, But for my real estate business, when somebody signs up on the website, they search like Vancouver house listings. They sign up. They put in their first name, last name, email, and their cell phone number. And in the terms, they're giving us permission to text them, to call them, to do things like that. As soon as they signed up, I've got an artificial intelligence chatbot that texts them and says, oh, hey, thanks for signing up on the site. We see that you're looking in Vancouver. What kinds of homes are you looking for? And then if the person engages back and has a conversation with the chatbot, which is by text, then it will update the search in the system to send them more and more relevant listings. And it does this at scale. So it does this with thousands of people simultaneously. So that's a pretty powerful one. If it comes down to the kind that you're doing, where it's 300 and something per lead, I would make sure I'm calling them, because that's an expensive lead. You need somebody who's skilled, who's picking up the phone and has a really good system of how they walk them through the process and actually convert them. Because when you're paying 300 and something per lead, if you don't convert 1 in 10, that's $3,000 out the door, right? Boom. Let's go high level. Awesome. Remodel reach hyphen AI. Where did you hear about this Q&A? I'm always curious. Was it off of the school community? Just put it in the chat here. Do you offer one-on-one coaching Google Ads, or is that all in school? It was school. Oh, awesome. Cool. Yeah. Welcome. I typically don't do one-on-one, but because I have the free community in school, and because I'm doing these Q&As and I want to just sort of give back and teach people sort of the things that I know, I am willing to do one-on-ones occasionally. Just reach out to me through school. I'm thinking of putting in like once somebody reaches level 2 or level 3 or something like that in the gamification of school, when somebody's really contributing to the community or actually being involved, I'm thinking of doing like a one-on-one coaching session as like a reward of like, I'll go into the account, we'll have a chat, and I'll give some best practices and hopefully improve their account for them, just as a way to pay back like them contributing to the community, which helps everybody, right? So yeah, I'm open to it. It's not something I'm going to do for like tens or thousands of people or hundreds of people, just because it's a lot of time. But as a one-off here and there, I'm thinking of doing it for sure. Omid, any more questions for you or anybody else who's here? I'd be happy to answer them. What was your name, Remodel Reach? Put it in the chat just so I know which one you are. Cameron. Oh, good to meet you, Cameron. I'm Kory. So another minute or two before the live stream is over. Any other questions, go ahead and put it up. So Omid, I am good for now. I've set up my ad and then I have many questions. Yeah, for sure. And Omid, I think you're in the school community as well. Definitely post that stuff in the school community, just as a general question post, because what'll happen is you're going to have the same questions that everybody has. Other people might step in and answer them, or I may step in and answer them. But then instead of them having to ask that same question again, they can just look through the feed, see, oh, Omid already had the same issue and handled it. Just read that and then go solve their problem. But yeah, absolutely go ahead and do that in school. So I want to thank everybody for stopping by and having a chat with me. And I hope everybody has an incredible rest of your day. And yeah. Oh, we spoke in DMs. Cool. Cameron. Awesome. Awesome. Cool. I get quite a few now, so I'll go look through those. And yeah, man, no, thanks for coming on and asking questions. I appreciate everybody sort of being involved in the community and share the school community. The bigger that community gets, the more resources I'm going to be able to have to help people out. But yeah, the goal of this is just to, for free right now, just provide a ton of value and just really help people out and show them some of the things that I've learned over the last 14 years. And hopefully that helps their business and their clients, and we'll all rise up together. So have a good day, everybody. I appreciate you all. Take care.